Horror movies are filled with brutal killers, terrifying monsters, and helpless victims. But every now and then, we get someone who fights back. Someone who outsmarts the killer, defies the odds, and makes it out alive. Good evening and welcome to the Dark Tavern, a spiritual nexus where all the creatures of darkness come to quench their thirst. Tonight we will be discussing the best final girls of horror. So sit down, have a drink, and get comfortable. Starting off our list, at number 5 we have Ellen Ripley. Ripley is the definitive hero of the first Alien trilogy. After the insidious xenomorph stows away and slaughters everyone aboard the infamous Nostromo, Ripley gives an admirable fight against the first xenomorph and eventually comes out on top. In the second film of the series Aliens, Ripley continues to excel at exterminating the xenomorph scum of the universe. She is also able to help the Space Marines make it out of an impossible situation, going head-to-head with the Xenomorph Queen. There is no denying that Ellen Ripley is one of the most badass women in the horror universe. At number 4 we have the Machine Mangler herself, Sarah Connor. Although she starts off a little timid and reluctant at first, through the course of the first Terminator film, Sarah proves that she is a force to be reckoned with, fighting and eventually being the one to put an end to horrific mechanical menace known as the Terminator. In the sequel Terminator to Judgment Day, Sarah doubles down and is a much more matured and refined warrior. She stays as the epitome of a machine-slaying menace, showing she has all the skills necessary to dominate the battlefield. For those of us who grew up with the Terminator franchise, we will always have respect for this pick.
You're terminated, fucker!
Taking the number 3 spot is the legendary Laurie Strode from Halloween. When Michael Myers came home, he wasn't expecting a babysitter who would fight back. Jamie Lee Curtis brought Laurie to life as the ultimate girl next door turned fierce survivor. She starts out as an ordinary teenager, but when the masked shape starts picking off her friends one by one, Laurie proves she's anything but ordinary. Armed with nothing but her wits and sheer will to survive, she battles Michael in a relentless game of cat and mouse. Over the years, Laurie evolved from a terrified teen to a hardened survivor, proving that trauma doesn't define her, it fuels her, a true horror icon. At number 2, we have Nancy Thompson from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And like most horror heroines, Nancy doesn't just run, she fights back with strategy. Freddy Krueger preys on his victims in their dreams, but Nancy refuses to let fear control her. Instead of waiting to be saved, she arms herself with knowledge, sets traps, and ultimately turns Freddy's power against him. Played by Heather Langenkamp, Nancy is the embodiment of resilience and intelligence in horror. Her iconic line, "You're nothing, you're shit," before taking Freddy down, cemented her as one of the greatest final girls of all time. And finally, at number 1, we have the queen of survival herself, Sidney Prescott from Scream. From the moment Ghostface made his first call, Sidney was different. She wasn't just another slasher victim, she was smart, resourceful, and had a sharp tongue to match. And like many final girls before her, Sidney knew the horror movie rules but refused to play by them. She took the fight to the killer every single time, proving that she wasn't just surviving, she was winning. Neve Campbell's performance made Sidney an unforgettable horror legend, and after surviving multiple killers across for soon-to-be 5 or 6 movies, she remains the ultimate final girl. And there you have it, the top 5 final girls in horror. Do you agree with this list, or is there someone we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another terrifying tale from the Dark Tavern, and as always, have a wonderful evening.